location on a very special day. So we are currently standing in the world's largest fully enclosed sea turtle hospital. It's brand new. We just opened it a month ago. So if you haven't been to visit us for a while, please make sure you come back this summer. You can meet some of our patients. You can check out where we do our medical procedures in our clinic. You might even get to see some medical procedures happening. So definitely make sure you come and visit us. Today is super special because we are going to be releasing 2 of our patients back to the wild. So our medical care staff are just getting ready to start pulling the patients from the tanks. So we're going to go ahead and meet those. So the first one we're going to meet is called Krispy. So Krispy is right over here. So Krispy is, believe it or not fully grown. So they are still a juvenile Atlantic green sea turtle. They're slightly larger than the average patient that we get. And as you can see from the top of their shell, when they came in, they did have quite a lot of abrasions, so cuts and scrapes on their shell and on their plastron. So their plastron is their belly and their chest. And they have kind of a unique story for how they got here. So Alyssa over here is one of our animal care specialists. And she received a call on our 24-hour stranding hotline where somebody said, I have found a sea turtle and it needs help and I don't know what to do. And so Alyssa responded and she went out and she met them. So where did you have to go? Where was Krispy?
So Krispy was over at the Isla Blanca jetties and actually all the way at the very end of the jetties.
So Krispy's quite big. So how did you manage to get Krispy safely from the end of the jetties back to the car?
So actually the members of the public that called Krispy in were generous enough to walk Krispy all the way from the end of the Isla Blanca jetties to the beach where our emergency vehicle was waiting.
Amazing. So we do rely a lot on volunteers and generous members of the public to help us rescue our sea turtles. And Krispy is a perfect example of that because it will be very difficult for one person by themselves to rescue such a large turtle and carry them over the rocks. So we're very, very grateful for the people that helped to rescue them. They actually are also the ones that named Krispy. So if you find a patient and you help us rescue them, then you do get the privilege to give them a name as well. So that is how Krispy came to be here. They're very excited. So we're going to move on and start getting Hooky ready as well. And then we'll circle back and we'll see both of them get released. So we are live right now. Our release location isn't very far away. So we're going to pull Hooky out of the tank. And then our staff will head over to the release location where we have another team of people ready to help show you them going back into the water. So Hooky has a slightly different story. You might be able to tell from their name, they were actually found with a fishing hook in their flipper. So Hooky came from Boca Chica, so not on South Padre Island, but just across the channel. And Hooky had a fishing hook in their flipper. So occasionally when people are out fishing, they might accidentally hook a sea turtle. They might find one that's entangled. All we ask is that you leave that hook in and give us a call and we will come and we will bring them back to our facility and we will remove that hook in a basically a safe way that's not going to hurt them. So Kelly, how long has Hooky been with us?
Hooky's been here a couple of weeks, so about 3 weeks.
So Hooky hasn't been here for as long as Krispy. The only injury that they had was at that hook site. So all we had to do was basically remove the hook. You can see a little tiny scar here from where the hook was removed. And all we did was just treat that wound and help make it heal. So with that, we're going to head out to our vehicle. So we'll let you guys go first. And we will follow them out. So whenever we get a patient come to us, the first thing that we have to do is basically try and find out what's wrong with them. So just like when you go to the doctor's going to ask you a bunch of questions and try and find out what's wrong. Our sea turtles can't really answer our questions. They can't tell us what's wrong. So we have to run a whole bunch of tests. We do x-rays, we do blood work. We actually have a brand new CT machine right here on site now that you guys will be able to see if you come and visit. So we can do a whole bunch of tests to find out exactly what's wrong. And then each patient will get a personal treatment plan as well. So we will tailor the treatment to them to help make sure that they can heal in the fastest, healthiest, safest way possible. So it's going to be slightly different for every single patient that comes in. So obviously Hooky came in with a hook. Krispy came in with some cuts and scrapes and abrasions. So the treatment that they had differed ever so slightly. But the treatment is often very similar to what we would get as humans as well. So we give them antibiotics if they have an infection. We'll give them pain relief medication if they have severe injuries. We'll give them vitamins to help give them energy, help their appetite, help their tissues regrow, things like that. So it's not too different than what you would experience if you were also unwell. So we're just going to load Hooky up into the back of the car. So Hannah, are you guys all ready for us at the bay?
Hey, Emily. Yes, we are
Hi,
here
Hannah.
at the bay. It's a beautiful day here. We're super excited to get to release 2 of our patients.
Amazing. So we are just finishing loading everyone up into the car. So once everyone gets in, we'll make sure that everyone's settled, and then I will let you know when they're on their way.
We do really
So
appreciate that. That's so exciting.
Sorry, Hannah, I didn't mean to cut you off. The release location is just a couple of minutes away, so it's going to be really, really soon before they get there. Hannah will be able to see when the vehicles are pulling up, and then as soon as they get there, we'll just do some last checks. We'll load everyone out of the vehicles, and then they'll head out towards you, Hannah. So it looks like... Are we all ready, Alyssa? Amazing. Well, have the best time. Wish them good luck for us, and Hannah will meet you out there.
Thank you so much, Emily. We really appreciate you coming and helping us out with that.
So they are heading out to you now. So Hannah, how's it looking? How's the weather?
The weather is absolutely beautiful. It was definitely cold a couple of days ago. Not that cold, some people might say it was somewhere in the 60s, but definitely cold for being a Texan here for people. So we're happy to see the sunlight and have some warmth back again.
Amazing. I personally have loved this cooler weather. It's been less humid. I love it. The bay is nice and warm though for our sea turtles, even though it did get a little bit cold. So hopefully once they hit the water, they'll know exactly what to do and they'll swim right on out.
Absolutely. And it is a windy day today too, but that's actually great because there's a possibility of having some nesting mamas coming on, especially because we just hit nesting season. So super excited and cross our fingers that we get one super soon as well.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. Nesting season is always super exciting for everyone. If you guys are ever out on the beach and you think you might have seen a nesting female, please just give us a call. It's the same number that you would call to report a stranded or injured sea turtle. So anytime you see any sea turtle out of the water, give us a call because it might be that you're lucky enough to be witnessing a nesting female.
Totally. Seeing a nesting female is super rare to see, and it's definitely awesome to see. But if you do see one, give them a good bit of space. And then, like Emily said, call us here at Sea Turtle Inc. I know that that's super exciting to be able to see. And if y'all, I know Emily mentioned this earlier, but if y'all ever do find a patient that comes with us to find a turtle and they become a patient, you get to name that turtle, and that's its name for life. So that's always super exciting.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so they just pulled out. So hopefully, Hannah, you'll be seeing them in the next few minutes. So we're going to hand it fully over to you.
Awesome.
And good luck. Wish the patients good luck for us and have the best time.
Thank you so much, Emily. Awesome, y'all. I'll go ahead and reintroduce myself. My name is Hannah. I'm an education specialist here at Sea Turtle Inc. Today we're here in the Bay Area, which we have stated before. The Bay Area is a great place to release our Atlantic green sea turtles, which is the main species that we get to see here. It's pretty exciting to be able to release 2 of our patients today. Again, we're releasing Krispy and we're releasing Hooky as well. Now, when I would do my feedings, I always remember Krispy being such a good eater. He loved to eat all of their vegetables so much. And Hooky was a little tough in the beginning, but they definitely started to eat in the afternoon as well, which was always super exciting. But like I said earlier, it is the start of nesting season. We just started on April 1st, so there is a possibility that y'all could see a nesting mama. Fingers crossed that we get our first one soon. We do have volunteers and staff patrolling every single day. We haven't gotten one yet, but Northern Mexico has gotten their first one, so fingers crossed again that we get ours super soon as well. But with that though, y'all, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them into the chat for us. Right here again, we're at the Laguna Madre Bay. Why we release our patients into the Laguna Madre Bay is usually a common question we get. is because 80% of the foraging ground in here is going to be made of that algae and that seagrass, which is an Atlantic green's favorite food. So if y'all didn't know, Atlantic greens, they get their name from eating so much vegetation that contains chlorophyll, like algae and seagrass, that their fat turns green. So instead of giving them algae and seagrass in the patients, we usually give them vegetables, which is the second best option for them as well. So that's usually a common question that we get. But if y'all have any more questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer those for you. But we're getting ready to release our 2 patients today. We have Krispy, who is a giant turtle. Giant is still crazy because they're still a juvenile, like Emily said before. And we have Hooky. Hooky is one of our newer patients as well. There's lots of ways that you can help support us by becoming a member with us, especially if you want to be able to see those nesty mamas and those babies. By seeing the babies, you can usually become a member with us. What's awesome about that is that you'll get a text as early as staff does. So that gives you the chance to be able to get time to be able to see these babies. It's just a one-time monthly payment, which is amazing to see. And then you also can check out our website for all the other events that we have. I know we have so many fun events coming up, including our Kids Night Out, which is our Hatch and Hop, coming on April 19th from 5 to 8. We have a couple of our educators that are going to be there. We'll have a totally awesome time where you can drop your kids off to do crafts and activities. We also have virtual Girl Scouts and in-person Girl Scouts coming up, especially if you want to do it by yourself or as a troop. We have both of those options, in person and online. We also do have our summer camps coming up. We do have the OG original 1-day camp, but this year we're adding our new 3-day camp as well, which is super exciting. And one more thing for adults, mainly those were for the kiddos, we do have our sip and paint this Saturday coming up as well. That's always a fun and exciting thing to do, to be able to paint, sit with our turtles and just have a good time away from anyone else that you need, which is super exciting as well. But Carlos, do we have any questions in the chat at all?
We don't have any questions at the moment, but I do actually have a question.
Sure, what's the question?
How can we help to protect sea turtles? What can the public do?
So there's so many ways that you guys can help protect sea turtles to the public or from the public, even if you're not local with us. If you are local with us, there's tons of things you can do. One, you can volunteer with us. We're always looking for more volunteers. They are the backbone of our community, being able to help out. We have over 300 some volunteers and a little bit over 20 of staff members. So if you think about those odds, it's totally different and totally crazy. But another way that y'all can help out is by kicking down your sandcastles and filling in your holes. That's my favorite thing to tell everybody, especially people who have kiddos and grandkiddos, because it can make sea turtle mamas confused when they come up, think it's a predator. They could turn around and head back to the ocean where they're not going to lay their nest with us. Those baby hatchlings, they're about the size of the palm of your hand. So when they come out and when they hatch, they have this little frenzy where they only have 24 hours worth of energy to make it to the Gulf. So they have to get there super fast and get there in time. So if something's blocking their path, like a sandcastle or a hole, that will be a little bit detrimental to them as well, possibly as well. So that's always my favorite one that I like to tell people. But another way that people can help is always the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, and obviously picking up our trash just in general as well. And I do see our team is starting to walk this way with our turtles, so I'm super excited that they're super excited. And I just wanted to see if we had any more questions, Carlos.
Yes, we actually do have a great question. And this question is, how can they become a volunteer?
Sure. How can you become a volunteer? That's a great question. So you can usually head up onto our website, and under ways to help, there's a volunteer, or you can email us at volunteer@seaturtleinc.org. You have to be at least 16 years old. We do run a little background check on you, as we do work with a federally protected animal, but it's a pretty quick and easy process, and we would love to have everyone sign in to be a volunteer if they could. So if you're around that age and above and you want to volunteer with sea turtles, there's totally some perks that you can get as well for becoming a volunteer for long periods of times, like our 100-hour club and so many more as well. Of course, what's the question?
So someone wants to know, how far will Krispy and Hooky travel once they are released? I'm not really sure if you know this answer, but if you have an idea.
So sea turtles, Hooky and Krispy, they could travel thousands of miles during migration. They totally could. Most likely though, if we put a satellite tracker on them, they would be going in like a totally different like zigzag of circles and triangles and squares almost all over the place. We're not exactly sure how far they would go without a satellite tracker, but they could totally go pretty far. I've seen turtles travel all the way up to Maine before from Florida. So they can travel pretty far. So that's always pretty cool because during migration, they're trying to usually get to some of those warmer waters as well. That's a great question. Any more questions at all? Yeah, so no questions, but that's totally okay. I did want to add on that we did have something fun that we added on today. It's our little stuffy that we have attached to our microphone here. We have a bunch of new items at the gift shop. I actually just purchased a couple today. I'm so sorry, but I had to because they were so cute. We have some new tank tops. They're little crop tops. We also have these cute little turtle stuffies that connect to our little headphones here, our little microphone, but they can connect to anything that y'all have as well. So that's super exciting. We have a bunch of new shirts coming in too, so that's always super exciting. But we do have our team coming up here. They're getting ready to release our turtles. So I'm super excited for that. We've been waiting all day to release these sea turtles back out into the wild. I know that they're going to be super excited and super ready to go back out too. You're going to see them flapping their flippers. And we're going to be looking for something called a goodbye breath, which is something that we always want to make sure that they're taking a nice deep breath before they come and go back out to the ground. So we can have a couple of people have a release today. So we have Claudia, she's our guidelines educator, and then we also have our educator or our rehab staff, which is going to be Alyssa and Casey, who are our specialists of animal care. So I'm super excited for that. So we're getting ready to release our turtles again today. So exciting. And again, if y'all have any questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat for us. I'm not sure who we're going to be releasing first, but I know that they're very excited. We're going to be releasing Krispy first. I'm excited. All right, y'all, we're going to get ready to go ahead and release Krispy. Krispy's ready to go. So ready to go. Oh my goodness. And we're going to wait for that little goodbye breath. Krispy might be ready to go munch on some algae or some seagrass, though. I'm not going to lie. I would too. So cute. I'm so excited that they're back out. And like we said, Krispy is one of the bigger turtles. Oh, there's the bread. One of the biggest turtles that we have found stuck in the jetties. I still remember seeing the picture and I kind of laughed a little bit. I'm sorry, Krispy, but it was a little funny how he was just sitting and wedged in between those rocks. Now we also have Claudia. She is our new bilingual education specialist, and she is releasing Hooky. I know we kind of talked a little bit about Hooky before, and they were accidentally hooked. And so sometimes when sea turtles get hooked, we obviously are going to have to remove those hooks, but Hooky is now ready to go back out into the wild. So Claudia, you can go ahead. Now, sometimes when we put the turtles in, they get a little disoriented. We've mentioned that before, but as soon as they hit the water, they're usually flat, ready to go back out into the wild. And usually they're going to go forage on some of that seagrass, maybe some algae as well. Well, with that, y'all, we're going to go ahead and sign off. If y'all have any more questions, you're welcome to drop them in the chat down below. We'll make sure we get to those. Again, if you want to be able to see some babies this summer, become a member with us. And remember to check out our online events on our website at seaturtleinc.org as well. We do appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye!